Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rosewater. Where are we? What are we doing? I think we checked the map at the end of the last episode. No, yeah, we definitely did. I don't know. We don't really have anything else new to do, I think. Who could we talk about? About the theater thing. Maybe Jake?
Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
In your professional opinion, do you think Miss Hitomi's show has what it takes to succeed?
Oh, sure. We really dazzled it up for him.
That we did.
If it ain't a hit, I'll eat my hat.
I appreciate the chat.
Anytime, Harley.
I guess let's do read. We haven't done it yet. Maybe it does trigger something.
Scooch over a touch, would you, Phil?
No, it cannot be.
What? What?
What's going on?
Not sure, but we're slowing down. Must be something important if he convinced Miss Johnson to stop. I'll go have a look.
But he wasn't even looking out the window. How did he know there was anything out there?
Care to explain what's going on?
I know these people. They are from Jicotea.
All the way out here?
Yes. I thought they might head for the border, as I did. I am relieved to see they made it.
General Márquez, ¿qué haces aquí?
Antonio, it is good to see you are well.
I would not say I am well, General.
This is my companion, Harley Leger.
Has the General recruited you to his cause then?
Not at all. I'm writing a story for the Rosewater Post.
Is that so? There is much that could be written about the plight of our people. For instance, how the brave General Márquez brought it all down upon us.
What are you talking about, Antonio?
You came to our village with your talk of revolution and freedom. You are very persuasive, General. Your words moved people and put many innocent lives in harm's way. No sooner had you arrived than the army came to rain fire upon us. Surely you knew what would happen.
I expected some response, of course. But who could anticipate that those Spanish dogs would behave like such inhuman monsters? But I also believed that the people would resist. And resist they did.
You gave us no choice. We were forced to defend ourselves. But you never allowed us to decide if we wanted to join your fight.
I did not consider.
It is only by God's grace that some of us managed to escape. Jicotea, our home, is gone. Those who survived made our way here to this strange country.
Where is Lieutenant Morales? I ordered him to lead a civilian evacuation as escort. Did he not conduct you to safety?
Yes, he did. But I do not think it would be a good idea for you to see him. In fact, it would be best if you just go now. We do not need any more of your revolution here, General.
Weird that they're speaking English, but you know, I appreciate it. I guess it's definitely easier this way.
These people clearly need help. Maybe we can do something for them?
Like what?
Let's poke around. Something might come to us.
Yeah, I don't need to, you know. You feel, yeah. Didn't feel the need to rub it in, I guess. It seemed
Seems to be a newspaper from a nearby town.
to feel guilty. Needham's news circular. The news you need. Serving Pike Valley, Camp Felton, Shivering Pines, and Environments. W. Stanley Needham. ED publisher, Solar correspondent, maybe? Editor, publisher, Solar correspondent? I don't know. Rebels rouse rabble, raise ruckus. Come on. Scattered southern skirmishes stir Spanish soldiers. Come on. Anyway, like two homesteaders on adjoining plots of land who each must suffer the fragrant musk of the other's livestock, the encroachment of creeping weeds, drifting gusts of smoke, and the muffled clatters and cries of domestic disharmony, borne over the air from his neighbor, disrespectful of any boundary marker or property line, no more can our nation remain hermetic and unawares of the private troubles and affluent discharge of our neighbor to the south. What a sentence. While the ill-favored rebellion of certain new Spanish rustics against the brutish excesses of their sovereign king may be accounted a wholly internal matter for the citizens of that empire and her colony, the result has been a steady northward crossing of the would-be uprisers and refugees in the wake of their failed campaigns of resistance. The vagabond trains of these uprooted peasants have become a familiar sight in these parts, wending through our hills and valleys, bearing the remnants of their households upon their backs. It is not neighborly, then, for us Vespuccians to take an interest in matters beyond our border? Is it not neighborly, then, for us Vespuccians to take an interest in matters beyond our border? To wonder whether New Spain might yet reclaim her wayward citizens, taking refuge in her field, like a runaway child fleeing a lutish father's heavy hand? Well, the cries of revolution have quieted since the rout of rebel General Marquez, man, I can't talk, and the raising of insurgent Jicotea. Occasional reports have surfaced to offer a small glimmer of hope for the cause. A fortnight ago, for instance, the armory of the garrison at Loma Verde is said to have suffered calamity when a considerable store of gunpowder kept there ignited in the night, a careless mishap, or the work of insurgents still uncowed. Do not sit in the dark. That's not alliteration, though. Light up your life with wax-dipped candles made at home. You need not wallow in obscurity, nor allow the chandler to grow fat from your custom. With a little sweat of the brow, you can wholly supplant his services and make your own serviceable candlesticks. Here's the method. For the wax, any of tallow, beeswax, or candelilla, I don't know, wax may be used. Over a strong flame, melt a goodly quantity of the substance in a sturdy metal pot. For the wick, wax pot wick, capitalized. Take a length of twine or thick plaited thread of cotton, flax, or hemp, and dip all but an inch into the melted wax. Hold submerged for half a minute, then withdraw. Repeat until the wax lies upon the wick in thick coats and assumes the aspect of a well-formed candle. Hang to dry. When darkness falls, burn your creation to chase the shadows away. Forswear your erstwhile chandler, for now you have become the master of his art. Anyway, and then we have the Felton sawmill nears completion, seeks workers. Since its purchase this past spring of half a league of land northeast of the township of Shivering Pines, including a parcel adjoining Camp Felton and the fast-flowing waters of the Catakill Creek, Mr. Edgar Felton has been engaged in building a new sawmill to succeed the one previously commenced and partially built about 3 miles to the south before a flash flood washed it all away in the summer of last year. Not one to be undone by the whims and perverse tantrums of Mother Nature, Mr. Felton has persevered in his designs and announces that the new Felton sawmill will commence operation by the end of this year. This ought to come as welcome news to the diverse loggers and foresters of Shivering Pines, who, though those namesake woods abound with good timber, have been obliged by the region's dearth of milling capacity to transport their product to distant Esperance, who knows, or even way up north to a haver field for processing into lumber. Yet they should not rejoice prematurely, for before the mill can begin to contribute to the local industry, there remains the obstacle of populating it with workers. A total complement of at least 50 or 60 working men and women will be required to bring the mill up to full operating capacity, to say nothing of the services and amenities needed to support such a robust workforce. Since the disappointments of last summer, when the first promised mill was swept away, Camp Felton has become all but a ghost town, as prospective laborers moved on in search of riper opportunities. Old camp and new sawmill nearing completion stand ready to receive their future inhabitants, whoever they may be, so long as they are ready to work and willing to make a new home here in the erstwhile wilderness. So they could all be loggers, I guess.
It keeps the chill of the forest at bay. The pot hanging above it is empty.
Why is it hanging there then?
General Marqués. No puede ser.
It can be.
Isabel, I am glad to see you.
What are you doing here? And who is this?
This is my companion, Harley Leger.
Don't tell me you've begun recruiting Vespuccians after abandoning your own people. Now you've got foreigners dancing to your tune?
Isabel, you are not being fair.
You dare talk to me about fairness? Fairness would be seeing you executed for cowardice.
What?
After drawing the army into a battle, you fled, leaving us to be massacred.
I did no such thing.
You should have stayed and fought with us, first into battle and last to retreat. Instead, you withdrew as Ikotea crumbled. How do you expect to achieve victory if you do not stay to claim it?
I thought...
It was only the brave leadership of Lieutenant Morales that kept us alive. Now, we are stuck here, unable to return and take back what's rightfully ours. I don't want to speak about this anymore. Leave me in peace, General.
Again, I appreciate that they're arguing in English.
They've turned a pew over to serve as a table, and it seems the collection plate's been turned into a serving plate. Someone left their knife behind.
Stealing the knife? I'm not stealing the knife, that's a shame.
It leads up to the loft, but I'm not risking my neck to see what's up there.
Well, they're drying their clothes up there.
Several articles of clothing are hanging to dry.
Yes. Very observant.
Pews have seen better days. Some of them have been converted into makeshift beds.
Yeah, this one looks weird perspective-wise.
This shelf probably held many candles once, but there's only some old, dried wax now.
We could turn that into a new candle, using the tricks we learned from the paper.
It's been a long time since anyone used that altar.
Which seems kind of weird. Like, why wouldn't they... I don't know. I don't know. But traditionally speaking, isn't that like a very Christian, group of people usually? Why wouldn't they... Like, if they take refuge, shelter in an abandoned church, wouldn't they, keep it in good order maybe? I don't know. That seems odd to me anyway. What's this?
A glob of dried wax. Someone was careless with a candle.
Sure. Who are you again? If you get your name.
Ma'am?
What is it?
Tell me
Isabel.
more about yourself, Isabel.
Myself. What can I say? My life has been completely destroyed. I used to take care of my grandchildren, while my son and his wife worked their farm. Now, I am stuck in a strange country with no hope of return. And to complete my torment, the man responsible for it all turns up as if nothing happened.
Is your family here? Did they escape with you?
No. My son stood up to the Spanish tyrants and died defending his home. Last I saw his wife, she was fleeing with the children. I do not know where they went. Lieutenant Morales and his men ushered a group of us out. There was no time to gather anything or find our loved ones.
I'm so sorry.
As am I. Sorry I cannot return to punish those who robbed us of our freedom.
Maybe you still can.
How did you come to shelter in this church?
After crossing into Vespuccia, we soon realized that we could not survive in the open desert.
Smart.
The forest proved just as dangerous. At last, we happened upon this abandoned church. It may not be much, but at least it has walls and a roof.
No windows, though.
Would it be possible for us to speak with Lieutenant Morales?
That is out of the question.
We'll talk again later.
Okay. Why don't they tell me why I can't speak to him?
There's quite a few people. Doesn't look like they've been camped here very long.
Maybe that's why they're not looking after the church just yet. They're just settling in.
There's a length of string tied to this tree. Must have been used to hang laundry.
Are you sure about that?
Not a bad place to seek shelter, though the building's clearly been abandoned for quite some time.
I mean, the roof still looks very good.
Not a bad place to seek shelter. Looks like they've set up a lantern. The candle needs replacing. It's almost completely melted.
That's something we could do, but I don't know why would we... Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused.
Phil?
Harley?
Who is this Lieutenant Morales you mentioned?
One of my bravest compadres. And a dear friend. I tasked him with leading the survivors of Jicotea north, across the border, if necessary. If he is here, I would very much like to speak with him.
Right. Carry on. Could I have a moment?
What do you want?
I'd like to hear more about you.
My name is Antonio Ruiz. Like my family for generations before me, I used to be a baker in our village, Jicotea, but everything changed when General Marquez came to us. Now my family is gone, and I am a refugee in a foreign land.
I'm so sorry.
Better to be alive somewhere strange than dead at home.
That's true.
How did you wind up in this camp?
Lieutenant Morales got us away from our village and helped us across the border. We decided to head west, out of the desert.
Smart.
3 weeks ago, we found this abandoned church and set up our camp.
3
It
weeks.
has not been easy. We have sick and injured, and we have already lost some along the way. We cannot stay here forever. We need to find a more permanent home.
Tell me about Isabel.
Isabel is misguided. She believes we should return to Jicotea and fight. She refuses to see the truth. We are better off in Vespuccia. A revolution is a lost cause. Our own country would have us submit or die. All that is left to us is to start a new life here.
We'd like to see Lieutenant Morales.
As I said before, that is not a good idea. Lieutenant Morales has been through enough already. I do not want to torment him further by allowing General Marquez an audience.
Thank you, sir.
Adios, señorita.
Okay. So we were like stonewalled everywhere. What are we doing here then? Like how there's wax, we could melt the wax, but like why would we be doing that? Why would we be lighting candles? I don't know. I feel like that's what's set up here though. There's a pot, there's fire, there's wax, there's like burnt out candles, there's the the guide for it. But like why are we doing that? I'm confused.
Phil?
Harley?
Isabel and Antonio aren't too fond of you. Think we might be able to bury the hatchet?
Perhaps. I have been thinking about what might serve for a peace offering.
I'm listening.
These people have lost so much. They have not had the opportunity to properly mourn. I would like to present them with a candle of remembrance.
Okay.
What's that?
A simple votive candle, lit to honor those who have passed. We just need to find or make one. I hope they might appreciate the gesture.
Could you tell me about that candle again?
Yeah, what if we
It
need...
is a votive candle lit in remembrance of the dead. We need to find one, or make it.
Alright.
Right. Carry on. Don't mind if I do.
Sure, I'm not gonna mind. Take all this wax.
I'll take some of this wax.
Take all of it. This too.
This is stuck fast. No way I can just pull it off.
Well, we'll take a knife then.
I'll just borrow this for a spell. Doubt this thing can cut through more than bread and cheese, but it might be useful.
What else would you want to cut?
Got it.
Okay. Do we need a candle holder thingy too? No? But I don't have like a wick. I guess this string.
It's tied on really tight. Can't just rip it off.
You could. You're strong. I believe in you, but sure you have a knife.
It keeps the chill of the pot hanging up.
Yes, put like wax in their food pot. That's definitely gonna make them happy.
That should be enough wax. How about that? Harley Leger, chandler extraordinaire. Crude, but it should serve Phil's purpose. Here, I made a remembrance candle for you.
Yes, this will work. Good. I can call everyone together for a vigil. A moment of peace is sorely needed. But there is one more thing. These people cannot stay here. They need a plan of action.
Seems like they've already got some ideas.
Yes, Antonio and Isabel are at odds, but there is merit in both of their positions. I do not know whose leadership would benefit this community more. Although my influence is somewhat diminished, I feel that many might still be swayed if I were to lend my voice in support of one or the other. Who would you choose, were you in my position?
I don't know. I mean, like if they have like a lot of wounded and, you know, they lost some people already. I don't know if going back and fighting is a good idea. I think like in an like idealistic kind of sense, sure. You go and you fight, but in a more like, you know, I don't know. In a more realistic sense, it's probably better for them if they just like if Hikotea is really like burnt down or whatever, completely destroyed, then what is there even to go back to? Like even if you like win a fight, I don't know. It feels like a long shot. What are you thinking?
What are the arguments in favor of each? Walk me through it.
Well, Isabel's heart still burns with the spirits of the revolution.
Yeah, I like that.
And she says that many feel the same. She would have them go back in defiance of a government so morally corrupt that it would send soldiers to massacre simple villagers.
What do you think would happen to them?
They would all be risking their lives, but they would also be sending a powerful message. The revolution lives. The people yearn to be free.
Yeah.
We will not surrender to evil.
But there's
Such
just
a proclamation cannot be ignored. And when enough voices finally shout it all at once, it cannot be resisted.
I
And the
guess.
points in Antonio's favor?
Antonio rightly says that the people of Hikotea did not ask for their village to become a fortress of the resistance. By my coming, I made it a target. They were swept up in something over which they had no control and no say. And they have already paid a steep price.
But surely there must have been some support for the revolution among the people, or you wouldn't have gone there in the first place.
Some, yes. Many were sympathetic to our aims, but had not yet been moved to action. We were trying to rally support. A brave man may offer up his life for a cause, but may he bravely offer up the lives of others?
I don't know. Let the people choose. Yes, I'm with that.
It seems to me that if you make a decision one way or the other, you're as bad as that corrupt government you're trying to resist. You're fighting for freedom. So why not give them the freedom to choose for themselves? Antonio says the villagers just want peace. And Isabel says they're spoiling for a fight. Well, put it to a vote and find out.
There is much wisdom in what you say, but I do not know. What if such a question divides the people irreparably? Now is a time for unity of purpose, not further fracturing.
I think they'll need to work that out for themselves. But first, they've got to find out where everyone stands. Bureaucrats and dictators always think people are too stupid to make their own decisions, so they treat them like cattle. If you show the people you trust them with their own fates, I think they'll surprise you.
Mi amiga, the spirit of the revolution does indeed live. In you. Thank you for helping me to see it. Gather the villagers and meet me in the church.
All right.
Amigos, thank you all for gathering to listen to my words. You all have suffered tremendously. I know you do not look favorably upon me, but I wish to offer my sincerest condolences and take a moment to remember the fallen. Whether or not they would have chosen this fight, it came to them unasked and claimed their lives. Eusebio Lopez, Gloria Hernandez, Abel Martinez. All martyrs of the revolution. Let us cherish their memory and ensure that their names are never forgotten. Now that we have honored the past, let us speak of the future. Speaking to Antonio and Isabel has made me realize that leaders should not make every decision. For us to truly be free, we must each be allowed to choose our destinies.
What are you saying, General?
When I came to Jicotea, I hoped you would all voluntarily take arms and fight. Many of you did, and for that I will always be grateful. But I did not realize that I was also forcing the battle upon you. In not giving you a choice, I became no better than our oppressors. For this, I am sorry. Isabel and Antonio have their own ideas for the future, but it is not my place to tell you who you should side with. That choice is and should always be in the hands of the people.
But General Marquez, if our group splits up even more...
Then you will know that those who remain beside you are there because they truly want to be, not because they feel they have to be. My friends, you may stay or you may return and fight. But no matter what you choose, you shall have the two most important things in the world. Honor y libertad.
A rousing speech, General. I was hoping for something more decisive.
My decisiveness was what got you all here in the first place. I hope you can forgive me.
You are forgiven. Before you go, you were asking about Lieutenant Morales? I will take you to him if you wish.
Please.
Follow me.
Are you going to a grave?
When did this happen?
2 weeks ago. Some of the children were playing in the forest when they startled a mother bear with her cub. There is nothing more dangerous than a mother defending her brood. Lieutenant Morales got them to safety, but the beast mortally wounded him.
Brave to the last.
Indeed. He died a hero's death, protecting the vulnerable.
May I have a moment? Lieutenant Morales, I promise your death will not be in vain. We will carry your name on our lips when we march to victory. Until we meet again, old friend. Come, Harley. Let us continue our journey. Adios, Isabel.
Adios, General.
I think I'm good with this.
Why don't you go on ahead? I'd like a minute to collect my thoughts.
Very well.
I just do feel like at least the speech should have been in Spanish. Why are we correcting our thoughts here, though? Is there anything to do here? No. Why do we send them on ahead then? I don't know. Since he left at the refugee camp, it seemed as though a little of that weight lifted from Phil's shoulders. If nothing else, perhaps that angel and devil have finally taken the hint and shoved off. I don't know why we sent them on without us, though. Spinning is kind of fun.
It's got a nice...
I don't know why we did that. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, good, you're back. We're low on food. If we want to eat tonight, we'll need to hunt for more. I'll let y'all decide what we're after.
Beer.
Around here, the fishing's pretty good. And there's plenty of rabbits and pheasants. Personally, I'd suggest rabbits. Easiest to catch and prepare.
I wouldn't be opposed to some pheasant. Danny makes a mean stew.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What kind of fish are common around here?
Mostly salmon.
Ah, then fishing gets my vote.
Yes, I vote fishing as well.
And you, Leger?
So we've got rabbit, pheasant, pheasant, fish, fish. If I vote rabbit, it's a tie.
Salmon gets my vote too.
Then it's decided. The three of you who wanted salmon, take the poles in the wagon and get fishing. Rest of us will start making camp.
Maybe you should have gone rabbit hunting with Laura, though. But I wanted to
I
fish.
have a good feeling about this place. Let us cast our lines here.
Here? All right then.
Have you ever fished before, Harley?
Would you believe this is my first time?
Do not worry. It is not difficult to pick up. Just cast your line and wait for a tug. When you feel the bite, secure the line.
You want to reel a fish in as quickly as possible. If it puts up a fight, pull your rod in the opposite direction to where the fish is going. Once you've got it back in the center, you can start reeling it in again.
All right, here goes nothing.
Okay, sounds a bit like Red Dead fishing, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I got some. Got it. Now to reel it in. Ooh, feisty little sucker.
Opposite, right? So we go back.
Damn. Strong little bastard.
Okay. Are we going anywhere? No. We're in the middle, so I'm reeling, right?
Got you.
What would we catch? Nothing.
Something's biting. Got it. Now to reel it in.
This one's not even fighting, okay. Oh, now it is, okay. Go left.
You're not getting off the hook that easy. Come here, fishy.
You know, okay, we don't. I wonder how the hunting minigame would work, though. I'm kind of with fishing, though. It's much more relaxed, I'm sure.
I got something. Got it. Now to reel it in. Ooh, feisty little sucker.
Right. Real. Very focused on this. So this is kind of like the Red Dead fishing minigame, but obviously it's more, you know, like we're not clicking dialogue boxes in Red Dead, but we're doing the same thing.
Got you.
I think.
So how did you two fare?
I caught 2 fish.
I only one.
I caught 3.
Wonderful. We'll have plenty to eat tonight.
Sounds like it's a bear.
What was that?
Oh no.
Carajo!
Shh, don't shout. Bears don't like loud noises.
But that's why you should shout.
I do not like bears.
They run away,
What are
right?
we supposed to do?
Stay quiet. Move away very slowly.
I think you're supposed to shout
I think we should
maybe-
run
maybe
while
that's-
we still can.
before they see you.
I'm backing away some more.
Good idea. Mierda! Run!
That's not good.
It seems to be working. Come, keep moving away.
I was the first to run. The only one to run.
Santa Maria. I do not think my heart has ever beat so fast.
We should be thankful that we escaped.
The others will not be happy when they learn we have returned with nothing.
I'm sure they'll understand, given the circumstances. Let's go back to camp.
That's not good, though. Could we have done the fish thing? I don't know, maybe we should have thrown a fish first, and then, I don't know.
Hope there was enough for everybody. I tried to make as much stew as I could.
Don't fret, Danny boy. A small taste's better than none at all. I tell you, getting to El Presidio will be worth it just to eat at a restaurant again.
We're lucky the Fortines left us some of their spare jerky at least.
Don't know if lucky is the word. So, I've been meaning to ask, what's everybody planning on doing with their share of Clark's stash?
Jake, Is that something we should really be talking about?
Look, I ain't deaf. I've known about your little treasure hunt for a while. Far as I'm concerned, that's your business, and I want no part of it. You paid me to get you to El Presidio, and that's what I'm doing.
That's noble of you, Miss Johnson. Most folk would demand a cut.
I ain't most folk. I was taught to earn an honest living, and that's what I intend to do.
Anyhow, the question stands.
I think I'd like to buy a new pair of six-shooters. Maybe a horse. It'd be nice to travel the countryside, too.
Have we not been doing that?
Well, sure, but I meant for pleasure. What
Very
about
different.
you, Phil?
My share will go to the revolution, of course. With full coffers, we will more readily find willing allies. And, of course, I will send something to assist the refugees here in Vespuccia.
That's good of you, Phil. I think I'd like to open my own clinic.
Dr. Redbird, eh?
Well, no, I can't practice as a doctor without a medical license. But
I think you
could
could.
continue as an herbalist. Or maybe a midwife.
So get your medical license. You're already worth 10 of those frontier quacks out there. They're all practicing with some scrap of parchment they paid some fancy school for. You could just write in for one. You'd never have to attend a class or show your face.
Perhaps that's something to consider. You sure you aren't interested in joining us, Miss Johnson? The extra money could let you stay in one place for a while.
An interesting thought. But I don't mind moving around, at least until I find something worth staying put for.
Fair.
What about you, Harley?
Also, I don't think I like. I mean, I think I caught on fairly early, but I don't think I ever mentioned it. And it sound, but yeah, like Vespuccia is because of like America is named for Amerigo Vespucci or whatever. So it's just in this alternate history they use the last name or whatever for the anyway. It just occurred to me again. Anyway, what do I do with my money? Keep traveling, see the world, give it to less fortunate, save it as insurance.
Maybe I'll put it away and start saving up for my own piece of land.
Will you build a house?
Sure, why not? Sounds nice. Never had a house before. And you, Jake?
Oh, you know, I haven't really thought about it.
But you asked the question.
Sure, but because I was curious about you folks. Truth be told, I ain't in much of a hurry for this trip to end.
Well, that's awful sweet.
I'll lay off, will you? All right, folks, I'm turning in. See y'all in the morning.
Good night, Jake. Can we talk to people?
Glad to see you and Lisa Lou getting along so well.
She's a great pup. Suddenly the road feels a little less lonely. Ain't that right, girl?
It's a weird way to put
Good
it.
girl.
She's a good girl. It's true.
How are you feeling, Phil?
Oh, well, I have had much to think about of late. Learning the fate of Lieutenant Morales and the refugees has left me uneasy. I ask myself whether we did the right thing. And what of the revolution? Or the mystery of the fort's Aurum shipments? I have yet to hear from Lieutenant General de la Vega regarding either. So many questions and so few answers.
That's how it
Sounds
goes.
like you really do have a lot on your mind.
Indeed. Would you like to join me in a toast to the fallen?
Sure.
Gladly.
A los caídos. Salud.
That's literally the
Salad.
fawn, right?
I believe I will retire for the evening. Good night to you all.
Good night, Phil.
You okay, Nadine? You seem lost in thought.
Oh, I was just contemplating what Miss Johnson said about me getting a license.
Should be
I never
easy.
really thought about it before. On one hand, it's exciting to think about all the possibilities, but it's also just as terrifying to consider the unknown.
It's not an easy decision, but it's one you need to make for yourself.
I'll give it some more thought. It seems I'm sleepier than I thought. I should get to bed.
Fair enough. Get some rest.
Good night, Harley. Please excuse me. I'll see you all in the morning.
Doing all right, Danny?
I think so, yeah. I'm feeling pretty tired. Think I'll hit the hay.
Very, very short conversation. We've already talked to Laura.
Looks like you and I are the last ones standing for a change.
Imagine that. You going to bed?
Guess so. You?
Not just yet. Time to get in my nightly walk.
You walk at night?
All right. Enjoy yourself. See you in the morning.
There's a bear
Night,
about though.
Leger.
Just be careful. Dude,
Come on, girl.
they know about the bear, right? Yeah, we must have told them of the fish story, right?
Morning. We ready to head out?
We should be once Lola returns. She said she was going to go scout down the road a ways.
That was a while ago. Maybe we should go check on her.
I'll go look for her.
You sure?
Yeah. Be back in no time.
Okay, so she did come back at night, but then went out again. What's this?
The breakfast fire's still going.
Okay. I never had fire for breakfast, but sounds good. I'll probably have some coffee, I think, but
Everything all right?
Oh, yeah. Just some damn vandals making trouble.
Are we sure about that?
Is that stone thing a shrine of some sort?
Yes, it's a traveler shrine.
What's a traveler's shrine?
A custom of the road. Folks set 'em up for lots of reasons. Some think they bring luck. Others use them to pray to St. Christopher. Sometimes they have gifts or supplies you can use, provided you leave something for the next traveler.
It's the patron saint of lost people, right? Christopher, maybe? I don't know. Maybe.
We can't just leave the shrine like this. Can we fix it?
Yes, I think we can. Whoever did this probably just scattered everything around. We can search the area for what's missing.
What exactly are we looking for?
Well, the icon of St. Christopher, for one. See all that writing on the boulder next to the shrine? There was probably something people used to make those marks, but that's also gone. And the offering box is empty, so we should put something in before we go.
Sure.
All right, let's get to work. It's covered in writing. Mostly place names, but a few messages here and there. What's all this writing mean?
Folk usually write the name of their destination on a nearby surface.
That's nice. I like that. Hope no bear in here.
Nice little pond.
Indeed. Anything in the pond?
Keep your distance. That's poison ivy.
Good to know. Looks like nothing else here. Do we just go left then? There's a bottle. Probably another part of it.
This bottle's still intact.
That is true. Those are poisons too.
Interesting looking mushrooms.
Very interesting. Especially if you want to poison somebody.
That's a poison around
Watch
here.
out for the broken glass there.
People have no regard.
That is true.
There's a big hole in that tree.
Look at it.
Nothing inside but dead leaves and insects.
Shame. Felt like a good spot for something to be hidden.
The tree's covered in moss.
Yep.
A pile of dead leaves.
Search it.
Hey, a piece of chalk.
Nice. So one of the things done.
Yuck. What's that?
Probably a squirrel or chipmunk.
What do you suppose felled this log?
Probably a storm. No claw or teeth marks.
What's this? Looks like I found St. Christopher.
Good.
What do you look like?
This must be St. Christopher. He's carrying a child through some water.
It's nice of him.
A pile of...
Already looked at that. Okay, I think we're done.
Hey, Miss Johnson?
What is it?
What is St. Christopher the saint of?
Travelers, I guess. Also looks out for athletes and people with toothache.
Next time I'm on my way to get a tooth pulled after a rough boxing match, I'll keep him in mind.
I thought there was something about like being lost as well, but maybe that's a different. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing. It's possible.
We haven't had much chance to speak one-on-one. I'd like to know something about you.
This ain't the time to swap personal anecdotes. Let's focus on what we're doing first. Then maybe we'll chat.
I'll take that as a promise.
What sort of things do people usually leave as offerings?
Some useful supplies to help the next traveler in need. Ideally, something that won't attract animals, so not food. I'd suggest drinking water or candles or something along those lines.
We should get back to looking.
I agree.
Okay, I don't have any drinking water. I have a bottle. I guess you can fill it at the pond, but that's not going to be drinking water. I wouldn't drink it anyway. Maybe the lake where we fished. But there's like murky pond water, I don't know. Do I give it to you?
Glad you found him. He can go back in the alcove on the shrine.
Did I put him there? Yeah.
I can't write on the boulder with that.
Yeah, you should put him there, but like you don't want to.
You said people write where they're going on here?
Yes, or a message or prayer to St. Christopher. Observing the tradition?
Sure.
Yes. I think our destination will suffice.
Has a
There.
way of writing. Aren't you a writer? Shouldn't you be better at writing? I don't know, it didn't look right. Okay, it's travelers, yeah, okay. Makes sense. I looked up St. Christopher. Anyway, can we put this here now? No, I have to have everything. But there's no drinking water here, I'm pretty sure. Because this looks very murky. I wouldn't want to drink this. It's a tiny little, like, puddle.
Hope you ain't thinking of drinking that.
Something wrong?
That water's stagnant. Unless you want to
I
be
guess you
running
boil
out
it,
both
yeah.
ends, you better boil it first.
But the breakfast fire is still going, so that should be okay. It's gonna be hard to get back out of the pot once it's boiling, though.
I'm heading back to camp for a spill.
All right, then.
This shouldn't take long.
Nice.
There, nice and clean.
I guess we have everything then? Still not sure if I give it to Laura or just put it down. Or neither.
That'll make a nice offering for the next traveler.
Hey, Miss Johnson?
What is it?
We should get back to looking.
I agree.
Okay, but how do I... Okay.
Nope, that doesn't go there. There you are, St. Christopher. Back where you belong. Nope. There. Now the next thirsty traveler can have some clean drinking water.
That feels weird, yeah.
Chalk for writing messages. St. Christopher looks right at home. Someone left some oranges, but they've gone moldy.
Shouldn't we, like, remove those then?
Right? I think that's everything.
Not quite.
Leaving your own mark?
Yep.
What do you mean by wherever?
Simple. I'm asking for safe passage to wherever I end up.
And where's
Sure.
that?
Damned if I know. Right now, the only way I'm going is forward. We all got our paths in this life. I'm just trying to forge mine.
I know what you mean. I've never stayed in one place too long either.
That's so?
I'd only been in Rosewater a day before we started this trip. Before that, I lived in Pierre a few years after moving from Rampton. But I grew up in New Britannia.
Lamplight City? So you're one of them tough gals, huh?
Well, there was a time I boxed under the name Spitfire Harley.
No kidding. Guess that explains a few things. We should head back to camp and get a move on. Sun's already higher than I'd like.
After you, Miss Johnson.
Call me Lola.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Some more, you know, one-on-one, face-to-face with Laura. Very nice. Oh, we're making progress. Look at that. Look at that. Very nice. Good progress. And that's it for today. Will we ever make it to El Presidio? I don't know. We'll try.
It's an autographed ferrotype of the Queen's Mid-Atlantic Players. Miss Hitomi gave it to us before we left.
Did I miss that last time? I must have, huh? Yeah, Presidio. I keep thinking it's Presidio. It's Presidio. It's up there. Do we have to go through Hellfire Pass? It doesn't sound very pleasant. It really doesn't. Anyway. Yeah, that's it for today though. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.